Hey, get that back.
I'm gonna elevate and I'm gonna get up to the top. I'm gonna elevate and I'm gonna stack up all this squad. I'm gonna elevate and I'm gonna bring my niggas with me. I'm gonna elevate and we gonna take over the city. I'm gonna elevate and I'm gonna get up to the top. I'm gonna elevate and I'm gonna stack up all this squad. I'm gonna elevate and I'm gonna bring my niggas with me. I'm gonna elevate and we gonna take over the city. When I came home from the jail, I ain't have nothing in my pocket. Now I look in my bank account, a lot of funds in my wallet. Now I'm doing better for myself, they telling me to stop it. Wasn't here when I was down, you try come round because I'm popping. I've been outside every day and I'm riding around with my brothers. I know that they got my best. In 7th grade we had each other, and their loyalty is real, I ain't gotta question it. I'm addicted to one thing, that's them dead presidents. I'm gonna go till I can't no more, I'm gonna win. And I'ma go till I can't no more, I'm all in. I'ma go till I can't no more, can't no more, can't no more. I'm gonna elevate and I'm gonna get up to the top. I'm gonna elevate and I'm gonna stack up all this squad. I'm gonna elevate and I'm gonna bring my niggas with me. I'm gonna elevate and we gonna take over the city. I'm gonna elevate and I'm gonna get up to the top. I'm gonna elevate and I'm gonna stack up all this squad. I'm gonna elevate and I'm gonna bring my niggas with me. I'm gonna elevate and we gonna take over the city.
Play that shit on TNT.
Turned to a mess, and now I gave you the deuces, and I wish your ass the best. And if you try to come back, I'ma have to stand on you. I wanna win on you, I was always there for you. And you took that shit for granted, now you lost me. And now I'm all up on my mission, and I'm bossing. And I've been taking all these trips, and you not there with me. I kept it fair with you, you wasn't real with me. And now I'm just reminiscing, I'm just staring at our pics. I thinking back, and now I realize you wasn't shit. My whole family told me you need to watch out for that little bitch. I didn't listen, and I was here. I really went out to Cali just to upgrade you, but you took that shit for granted, now you a stranger. I tried to come through and save you, but I can't save you. I need my paper, I'll see you later. When you walked in my life, that shit really turned to a mess. And now I gave you the deuces, and I wish your ass the best. And if you try to come back, I'ma have to stand on you. I wanna win on you, I was always there for you. And you took that shit for granted, now you lost me. And now I'm all up on my mission, and I'm bossing. And I've been taking all these trips, and you not there with me. I kept it fair with you, you wasn't real with me. 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 You wasn't there for me. I kept it real. Now you see how it feel. I was always there for you.
The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised.
What is in your life's blueprint?
What up? It's your boy Deny. What's up with you guys, man? Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Yo, I was not expecting to go out last night, but I went out and I got hammered. Fuck, nigga, I got hammered. I can't even remember half of it. But I do know that I do got to go to a birthday party here shortly. So let me say what's up. Shout out to Kiki Bo. Shout out to the people that's here. I know I scheduled the video to go live, but that was last night before I went out. And so your boy got to preserve my energy. What's up, Fireball, Kiki, Aunt Deb? Shout out to everybody for being here, man. Like the video, is absolutely free. Subscribe to the channel. Also, I got a survey out there on one channel that says, do you think that Denot had something to do with the unalivement of Ronnie Doe? Because apparently that's like a narrative or a conspiracy. And I'm not going to validate these people. What I am going to do is I'm just going to talk about my history, my approach, and the information that I actually found out just recently when I looked at text messages. The last set of text messages I sent to Whack 100, I actually found out around the time of Ronnie Doe's unalivement. That's when I called Natera, the DNA Diagnosis Center, and a lot of people that supported Chrisean was disenfranchising the narrative. And then, according to my text message that I seen in the timestamp on Tuesday, I told and released information. Hey, I called the DNA test. That stuff was fake, man. And Wack was like, I told you that a year ago. And then after that, the next text message I sent him, like, what the fuck are you like celebrating and going at Ronnie Doe for? And that was the last communication that I had with Whack 100, like dead ass, you know. And people don't understand, like, how could you hate me and diss me and then want to come back around me, because you create and start a lot of fires that I have to spend time putting out. So if I'm telling y'all the last time I communicated with Whack 100 was when I checked him about the egregious, deplorable behavior and statements that he said about Ronnie Doe towards his passing, some cuckoo bird came out and tried to make themselves relevant and tie my name to Whack 100 after that, saying something about a fake. I don't even want to get into it, but this is why I choose to ignore these people and don't give them none of my time, my energy, and eventually they play themselves out, because the truth can never be disputed, okay? People's story change, people actions, people motives, intent. My shit has always been on display. There's a lot of people claiming that they're talking about Chrisean and doing this for Junior. No, they're not. They're doing this for a click and a view and your attention. Most of these people that go live and act like they're on a mission to solve a problem, they're just pandering and jumping in the middle of some shit they don't know nothing about, okay? So you guys have been introduced to quite a few new characters talking about Chrisean Rock and unalivement of Ronnie Doe. Now, some of these people probably had been talking about Chrisean Rock, but after Trap Lil Rawls, DJ Academics, and so many other bigger pages in the hip hop community talked about Chrisean and Ronnie Doe and that situation, that myself and everybody that knows the Chrisean Rock sector, I'm not talking about somebody that just got a platform and infiltrated or look at a hot button topic and decide to dive right in. Everybody that is actually a part of the Chrisean Rock sector, which I am, we already discussed this information. But because, you know, big platforms cover it, new people want to come and they want to jump in the middle of some shit to act like they know something. And because they don't know anything and because they're insecure about their position and placement and feel like they're going to die off, what they do is they try to attack the content creators who are legitimized. Like, I don't talk about Chrisean Rock every single day. I will get in and get out. That's it. Get in and get out. I jump and I hop. Get in, get out. Okay, tomorrow I probably crank up a video about something that's trending or something that I'm trying to lead the narrative. Get in and get out. Okay, my whole experience with the Chrisean Rock sector has been 100% authentic. It has been about entertaining the people and also getting to the facts and making sure that we see and we know what we know, okay? I advocate for Junior, I advocate for Karan Kane, but I don't have to sit here and say that every single day. These are clout chasers. There are certain people that's been talking about Chrisean Rock for 3-4+ years every single day, and no shade to them. Like, shout out to Voodoo Doll. She's excellent, but she's been talking about Chrisean Rock consistently, and it gets her a paycheck. So shout out to her, and she stood on 10 about what she do. Now, I'm probably one of the people that can talk about her every day and maintain the audience, the rapport, build it back up. It doesn't matter. It's just Chrisean Rock sector is one of those sectors that I'm always going to be relevant in. And because there's new characters from a toxic environment, what they want to do is they're trying to bait me to get a response out of me, to make themselves valid in front of the Chrisean Rock audience. to act like that they're gonna come over here and steal some shit, okay? So what that looks like, I want to start with this exhibit and just let you guys know that I'm not really with the shit, okay? So let me play this real quick.
The case, and this one, and not mention, like, you had something good going for yourself. You did. Like, I saw you. I was witnessing you. You were doing good with the Chrisean Rock stuff, but then it turned when you just got latched on. It just didn't make sense because you were literally making good clicks and views with Chrisean. And this before Sean David Wade talked about it. Yes, I believe he stole that from you. Absolutely. 1000%. And you didn't need to talk because you was doing good with Chrisean Rock. You even went to the DNA place that she allegedly got this DNA test and confronted and exposed that lie. Like, I just don't understand you just talking. It just, to me, it didn't make sense because you didn't need to.
So
you was in
number one, you know, everything is not necessarily a click and a view for me. Like, I got real ass supporters. These niggas need to do 20, 30,000 views, Google AdSense, in order to get paid what I'm gonna get paid off of a video with 500 views on it. Because everybody's platform is different. I don't talk about Chrisean Rock every day. Oh, you was doing good. You was getting clicks and views. If I decide not to talk about Chrisean Rock for the next 4 months and then pick up where I left off and knowing the new information, I'm always saying, just because I'm not talking about something or covering and responding to people does not mean that I don't know what's going on. I know what's going on. Especially if it's playing with my name or something in the Chrisean Rock sector. I know what is going on. I'm a wealth of information. I get up here and do a full show with 15 different topics that 15 different people probably be interested in. One person interested in Chrisean, the other person interested in politics. I am an information machine, and I really like that. That's what's fun to me. And if I'm having fun, I want y'all to have fun. Okay, so nobody can steal nothing from me. Okay, yes, Sean David Wade has copied every single thing that I do and done, and it's starting with the Jaguar right sector. As a matter of fact, the day that I actually broke into the Chrisean Rock sector, what I mean by all the blog pages and all the personalities on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, the way I broke into that is after I left Jaguar right at a fucking barbershop, I went to a Chrisean Rock football game. Chrisean Rock, old number one supporter, Hot Tea Hot Chocolate, was at the football game and got into like this altercation. I didn't even know nobody. I didn't know who the players were or anything. And that kind of like thrust me into the Chrisean Rock sector because people wanted me to roast her. People wanted me to talk about and correct the truth. And that's how I built. I built based on personal engagement and interaction. As a matter of fact, before I even got onto YouTube and before anybody ever interviewed Chrisean and Blueface as a duo, I interviewed them on Clubhouse. So people in Chrisean Rock sector, they knew my voice. When I went to the football game, people was in the chat was like, hey, that's the guy, I know his voice. That's the guy that interviewed Chrisean and Blueface on Clubhouse. So that's making me an author. Boots on the ground, Chrisean Rock picked up my phone. That's making me an author. Okay, so I have authorityship. I'm not sitting at my computer trying to attack somebody else because they lit and you not. I'm not trying to manipulate the people. Because again, I'm not gonna play their game. I'm not. What's unfortunate is like in real life, these people would never have the same fucking energy in my face, and what they do and say does not affect me. But online, people will try to force you to play games, even if you don't want to play it by confusing the audience. So I got a couple of messages on my video, and I don't know if it's troll accounts, burner accounts that's trying to bait me into acknowledging people, and that's just not gonna happen. I did in fact delete those messages, but moving forward, especially after you've had a reasonable opportunity to see this video, you're just gonna get blocked. Names are getting blocked out of the chat. I don't need to engage with anybody or go back and forth with nobody in the Chrisean Rock sector in order to get clicks and views and numbers. If I don't feel like talking about Chrisean Rock after this video is over for the next 4 months, that just means that I'm on to something else. Not because I'm scared or not because I did something foul that I don't want to, own up to all this other stuff. That's bullshit, okay? So I put in hard work and effort. I went to Chrisean. I interviewed Chrisean and Blueface before they ever appeared on No Jumper or the Jason Lee Show. I interviewed them. Boots on the ground at the football game. Boots on the ground at Blueface court hearings when Chrisean Rock got arrested and so forth. Boots on the ground at different events. Boots on the ground at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel. Boots on the ground calling the terror, going to the DNA center. These are things that certain hateful competitors feel like they I don't want to talk about because that exists. That exists. You cannot be a part of the Chrisean Rock sector as a creator or anybody in the audience and not know who I am. So again, influence is not based upon how many people you got to subscribe to your channel, a fucking check mark on this platform. Influence is actually having substance because of the hard work and effort that I put into discovering information, the facts, had a personal relationship with Ronnie Dell. I actually can call Ronnie's family. I'm probably the only person that can call Ronnie's family. And if they don't answer, they're going to text me and they're going to say they're going to call me back. I never not once exploited that. I never not once brought that to the internet. I know the people who have been reaching out to them, trying to exploit them for content and get them to be on the platform. And I gave them the correct information to know who they're dealing with because that family needs protection. Okay, I'm not soliciting them. I'm not saying anything to traumatize. Why is it that I'm the only one that can play Ronnie's music and videos without getting a copyright strike when that's copyrighted music? That should tell you my correlation with this family. I don't need to go and ask this sister to get on my platform to do an interview for clicks and views. That's not integrity. That's a grieving family that wants justice. Now, when justice is had and served, we're gonna see them and where they go and who they talk to. Otherwise, like, get the fuck off of my dick. Okay, Chrisean Rock whole family, Chastity, even Tasiki. I done had conversations with all of these people. Blueface whole family, from his grandfather to his mother to his grandmother to his cousins. These are all people who know who I am. The management, not just Whack 100. These are all people who I have in my phone or had a cordial relationship once before. I'm not going to allow you to attach yourself to me to try to bait me into a response so that you can try to clout chase off of me. And next thing you know, it's no longer a conversation about Chrisean Rock, but it's about these fucking losers out here trying to attach themselves to other people and airing their grievance or their personal opinion about it. And next thing you know, you be like, damn, I came to Denot or I came to this channel because they was talking about Chrisean. And now they're attacking all of the content creators who I've watched for years, who I know for a fact, just because they can sound like that they know what they're talking about. Give it time. People will always expose themselves. Okay, y'all came to hear about Chrisean. You didn't come and hear about Denot, what Denot do, and you don't care about any of that. Not in the Chrisean Rock sector. But there is a herd of motherfucking hyenas coming through, wanting you guys to pay attention to them so they can turn around and convert that into a full-fledged war against every single personality and content creator in the Chrisean Rock sector. How do I know that? Because it's a sector that does that. Also, when I first came to YouTube, I played that game too. Like, nobody wants to do that. I don't want to do it. And some people will be baited into the game, whether or not they want it or not. And one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to sit up here and be so angry and frustrated to where the audience dislike me based upon what other people are doing. But I'm not going to have you or anybody within my community asking me questions and bringing up different people's name and making them seem like that they're important to me when they're not. So names are going to be blocked. People are going to be blocked. And the thing about it is, I have receipts to debunk and expose these people right now. Multiple people. It's a girl putting my name in titles and shit like that, trying to tap into my algorithm, knowing that I'm a popular topic and popular in the Chrisean Rock sector. They see all the comments. They're not where you been at. Oh my gosh, they see all of that, and I didn't want to be a part of it. So they're using my name to try to convince you that they are an author in the Chrisean sector and trying to backdoor me to get your attention. They've been trying to do it a very long time. I even have people in this particular sector, videos that they did like a year ago, says and identified me as Chrisean Rock creator. You know, so now that their shit is dry, now that since I was the last littest nigga to enter a particular sector and move away, now everybody else wants to move away because they finally realized that Denied is not going to give me that reaction anymore. We got to go and play his content from different platforms in order to grip and attach ourselves to him. I know my motherfucking value. I do. And again, I can sit here and expose, rip apart, roast, drag these motherfuckers for fit. But why would I do that? Even if I do it better than them, y'all gonna now be exposed to losers. And all you care about is the entertainment. Oh, they're not drugged them. Let me go see what they say. And now it's a game of ping pong. I'm not doing none of that. Okay, I'm not doing none of that. Even same thing with Sherelle and Perry. They use people. I know what situation I was getting myself into, but at the end of the day, I was thinking maybe this was like a reinvention. And even then, when they no longer could use me, they defamed me and went reset and went back to, oh, everybody hate him. When I gave them all the information on their platform about Chrisean Rock and what's going on in the sector. Did that with them with Chrisean Rock. Did that with them with that Sean Atwood dude and other people. Like, these people are users. I'm not letting nobody else use me. We got stipulations. You want to collaborate? Well, I have stipulations, and if you don't agree to them, then we cannot collaborate because I'm the one with all the information. And I got all the information because y'all don't know, like when I do a weekend show and I'm up here having fun, though I'm roasting and dragging, I'm collecting so much information and giving you so much information about 10, 15 different topics that are continuously evolving. Continuously evolving. There's nothing new under the sun. We see the same stories go viral with different people, same reaction as the GoFundMe and all this other shit. So, but these stories are developing, and it gives me enough intel to be able to actually create a video to talk about a single topic opposed to 15, 20 topics for 2-3 hours. I can sit here and roast a bitch ass nigga for 2-3 hours nonstop if I wanted to. You're not gonna get that. Like, okay, it's clean energy over here. And motherfuckers will try to attach themselves to that because they weak. They've been neglected their whole motherfucking life. Y'all listening to crack babies. Crack babies who claim that they want justice for Chrisean Jr. because he's neglected. Nobody saved them. Why would they come to the internet making you think that they're going to save somebody else to create a petition that they don't even know how to execute or get to a proper authorities? What are we saying here? But again, you know, I think if people are delivering the information about Chrisean Rock and you guys like them, then that's what it is. I never came here saying that I'm Captain Save a Hoe. I've been roasting and dragging Chrisean and Blueface before I knew Ronnie Doe and after his untimely passing. And so Ronnie Doe, it just so happens I have and had a personal relationship with him and his family and his cordial. And rest in peace, Ronnie Doe. Absolutely. So yeah, that's you're not gonna bait me. That's it. Okay. Even if I got stuff in my phone right now to expose you, but why do that when I can just let it build up? It's a girl that's such a fucking scam artist. Told a big lie, and I'm not gonna because I know they're watching right now. Told a big lie that's easy to prove and can be debunked. If I deliver that information right now, people will discredit it because that's what they try to do to me. Because I'm the true influence. And when you're the true influence, people are always going to discredit you. So I sent it to multiple people. I'm like, why do I ain't run this content? This is a clear exposure. This is like better. This is like better than a camera slip exposure. Is a camera slip plus a fucking fake ass narrative that has been debunked based upon a camera slip. Like, this is prime content. This is content next to doxing, with the exception that it was showed online and it is not actually doxing to release information and to push back on people's lies and fake narratives. And this is something that somebody who's trying to use me to break into the Chrisean Rock sector, you know, being exposed upon. I'm not using my platform to do that because I would be an oxymoron. I don't want nothing to do with, you know, certain people. And so, yeah. If I expose it, they're going to say I'm lying. And they're going to backdoor me and further push their agenda because I'm so influential and I'm so fucking powerful to where I'm the one to pick on. I'm the one to nibble at and then make him expose and make him be the bad person while I'm the good person, because that's the only way that they know how to grow their audiences. That's the only way they know how to tap into the Chrisean Rock sector. That's the only way they know how to get your attention and somehow maintain it and keep it. Because if that's the situation, let's say that there's an audience of, 30,000 people in the Chrisean Rock sector. There's this other sector that's only about 2,000-3,000 people. They want to grow that sector. So why not attack Deny and get him to respond so that we can play ping pong with him and get as many as those 30,000 people to now be a part of my platform, to now support me into no. The Chrisean Rock sector, Chrisean Rock people want to continue to stay talking about Chrisean. They don't give a fuck about none of that other stuff that you're talking about with your personal life and your personal grievance with another person. They don't. But it is a few people, 30,000. It might be a good 2,000 people that they trying to use the knot to tap into and convert into their supporters. And that game is over. Okay. That game is over. It's so over. I can expose the fuck. I literally can set the internet on fire. It could have set the internet on fire with what I have. About 2 people. And I sent it to other people who are a part of that sector and who like to talk about y'all and go back and forth with each other. I'm not one of them. I don't give a fuck about clicks and views. Okay? I don't. So I'm not a part of no game that they're wanting to pull me into. Anytime I apologize or have a cordial conversation with people, it's still the same. I don't fuck with you. I still don't want you around me. This is being cordial, and this is the temperature of how this is gonna be, how it's always gonna be, and you need to move on, and I need to move on. That's actually, resolving a conflict. Or people would lie and say, "No, Denat, you did this." I'm like, oh, "Okay, I'm sorry. Well, how could I help you?" I would be engaging in the conflict if I was like, "But you did this, so I did this." I'm like, "No." So don't take it to where if I'm being non-confrontational as a sign of weakness. That's just me playing my game, because you wouldn't have to worry about me playing my game if you wasn't so focused on me. You did this years ago. Okay, they hate your intelligence. That's it. And then there's people that claim to be so much smarter than me by way of, I guess, that they would have to create an hour video to slowly but surely say what I can just paraphrase in a matter of a couple of seconds. And they feel like because they took time to explain it, aka get more watch hours and clicks and views and hopefully a new subscriber or two, that they're like, I don't have to, everything that's y'all saying about running, and this shit was done in the Chrisean, the Blue Rock TTV. He didn't address it and put his narrative on it, which I don't agree with. Hennessy Review, Hot Tea, Hot Chocolate, all these people, Capping for Knots. We've all seen it and we've all addressed it. Like, you're not a part of the sector. You are an invader, and you are now trying to figure out what you can do in order to get as many people to stay attached to you. And I'm not the person. I'm not, because I will let you continue to hang yourself before I show what I have in my phone to expose you. So I'm going to wait till you hang yourself, and I'm going to wait till you good and weak and vulnerable, and I'm going to hang you. That's it. And it won't be on my channel because I'm not a part of your shit. And it probably don't even be directly for me. Okay, motherfuckers say that I say that, oh, you say you left this sector. I did. Y'all playing with my name. You playing with my name. And motherfucker ugly ass mamas and shit walking by, you playing with my name and you contradicted. Okay, I'm gonna send that to other people. So yeah, a lot of narratives and a lot of things that is said and done. I send receipts for other people to look at, because that's how they run their channel, and that's my cordial relationship with them. But getting me off of my high horse to throw tomatoes at you motherfucking peasants is nothing that I'm going to be doing. Now, moving on. So I told you guys that I last spoke to and had a cordial relationship with WAC 100 on February the 4th, 2025, the day after Ronnie Doe passed away. We got into a lengthy text battle and have not had no peaceful relationship since. So when you guys see me at Ray J Court hearing, that's the first time I'm around and y'all acting, and Wack is looking and acting like he don't know who I am and stuff. It's because of this text message thread. Okay, I did not tell Wack 100 some loser was pregnant by me. All of that shit was a lie to try to like gaslight and griff attention off of my name. That's it. So, so this message, it was Tuesday. It was that Tuesday, on a Tuesday at 3:59 p.m. I said, I just confirmed the DNA test is fake. I called the people, which is when I called Natira. And this can go into motives too. What? Give me 1 second. 1 second, I'm looking at something really quickly. So, on a Tuesday, I was like, I called the people. I did not know exactly when I called Natira to confirm that that DNA test that Chrisean Rock posted was fake. But apparently it was a Tuesday within the same week that I sent this message to Wack and said, bro, why'd you have to go off on Ronnie like that? He was just trolling you. That's fucked up. So if I'm saying on Tuesday that I just called Natira and then less than a week later, Ronnie Doe is unalive, that means that there's motives. There's motives behind his unalivement pertaining to the DNA test. And I didn't know how much of proximity I was to those motives. Now, I'm not going to say, and nobody should say that me calling the DNA test is why Ronnie is not here. That's fucked up, first of all. Second of all, if I didn't do it, somebody else would have did it. Third of all, y'all need to correct me, and y'all, the Chrisean Rock people, can y'all confirm or deny that I called that DNA test place within the week of Ronnie Doe being unalive? Because immediately once he was unalive, Chrisean Rock then posted that fake DNA test, meaning that she knew that I called Natira. She knew that it was a viral conversation and a topic. She knew Ronnie Doe was looking for a DNA test. She knew all of this. How do I get rid of this problem? This is a fake DNA test. I need to control the narrative. Her supporters then try to attack me and discredit me. Now Ronnie is gone, and now she's posting the very same fake DNA test that I, within a week's time, called and confirmed that it was fake. Gemini, I said, I was around at the time. Yes, you did. We all know that I called the DNA test. I don't know the exact date. So was that at the end of January 2025 when I called Natira? It has to be, because the receipts are here. So when people are saying that I had something to do with Ronnie or a cover, I wasn't even talking about it. I would never do that. Like, first of all, I don't even, that don't even need to be defended at this point in time. Okay, me and Karan came, we got into, and I can show the receipts to where him and I agreed to get into a fake beef in December 2024 because I was in Brazil. I was out of my studio and I was like, how do I stay in this algorithm? Ronnie's the hottest thing, and I've interviewed him. We're cool. So we got into a fake beef, and he felt like I went too far. When I said something, I felt like he went too far. But he started posting that I have house in Virginia and all. I gave Ronnie that information that people have already said and I've already debunked. So I said, this is all the information about me that you can use to keep it interesting. And I'm just going to troll and roast because the very same people that are trying to break into the Chrisean Rock sector are the very same people who did the fake doxing and the fake information. So when Ronnie Doe put out certain things about me, like revenge corn and allegations of house in Virginia, that stuff was already flooded through the Chrisean Rock sector and debunked, and nobody stopped fucking with me. I actually told Ronnie to do it, to republish it, because other people was going to eventually find out and try to do it and take advantage of the narrative. So when he was posting that, people was like, oh, this is what Ronnie did. They didn't know that it was a whole play. I gave him that information. I'm not saying that I wanted it to be defamed. I'm just saying that this is public information and these are the narratives that have been spent. Take this, use it, get the crowd going. They're going to hear you say this. Then they're going to want me to go live and defend myself. And what I got to say, I organized that. Myself, Chrisean Kane, and then Shamika Moloch, who is Chrisean Kane's auntie. She knew about it. We was all behind the scenes laughing about it. Okay, so that was a play. That was a fake beef. Ronnie and I never really had any issues until he went to the mall and Top Flight slid his ass. And I called him when I was on that live stream, and that nigga was yelling and screaming and cussing at me, and we beefed probably for a little bit. That was actually real because I was like, nigga, what the fuck? I'm trying to help you. Then after that, he came back onto my platform and told me that he was scared for his life because a stalker was stalking him and that I should stay away from that person, et cetera, et cetera. So Chrisean Kane and I never had any bad blood. Even when we had quote unquote bad blood, that was organized beef to keep me in the algorithm when I was away from my studio, just to be clear. And I've showed the receipts about that before. My story has never changed. But again, back to this receipt with Whack 100 on a Tuesday. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys on a Tuesday. Let's do the math because the math is mathing now. So thank you to the people that try to like put me in the middle of some shit that I ain't got a motherfucking thing to do with. But now that you have, I had to dig up these receipts. So if Chrisean Kane, Tuesday and then today. So Tuesday was the 28th of January. So January 28th, 2025 is when I called Natera and it went viral about that fake DNA test when I called. And then Tuesday, the 4th of February, because Monday was the 3rd when Chrisean Kane passed away, and then that was publicized, and then I heard what Wack said, and then that would be today. So Tuesday to Tuesday, the 28th or the 27th is when I called Natera, and so now Chrisean Rock is in a panic. What is she gonna do? Mind you, Chrisean Rock came back to the internet that Sunday morning. If I called the DNA testing center on Monday or Tuesday, January the 27th, 28th, 2025, I know for a fact Chrisean seen it. Everybody's seen it. Chrisean came back to the internet on February the 2nd, that Sunday, and stayed on there until that Monday morning, the 3rd, and Chrisean was unalive that evening. And Chrisean Rock posted that fake DNA test. So the whole reason Chrisean came back to the internet, now that I'm seeing it, is because I did call that DNA testing center. She came back to the internet after that. This is why she hate me. And so now I got to contact the detective to string along these factual allegations and these are actual facts and receipts. And if anybody got that receipt, the timestamp of when I actually called Natera, it will help substantiate this receipt. Because I called Natera, Chrisean came back to the internet on Bigo with all of her supporters, with Blue Rock, Hot Tea, Hennessy Review, all of them was up there. They had a whole group meeting. They deliberately did not mention Ronnie Doe's name at all. You would think he didn't exist. And I'm like, how the fuck can Chrisean come back to the internet on Bigo and not address shit? Like, even me, like, nigga, the whole time when she was locked up, when Chrisean and Blueface was locked up, nigga, I held this shit down. That's another reason why you can't get rid of me. I entertained these people. I kept it going. I kept the lights on the circus when the circus was locked up. Okay? But for Chrisean, for me to call that DNA testing center on around January the 28th, for Chrisean to come back on February the 2nd, and for Ronnie Doe to be unalive on the 3rd, and Chrisean to post that fake DNA test that same evening, this is motives. And just to clarify, you know, when I asked Whack 100, I said, why'd you have to go off and running like that? He was trolling you. That's effed up. And I said, this is the last message you will ever receive from me. No beef. I'm just not fucking with what you said about Runny Doe just because he trolled you. Remember, we first met on Clubhouse. I trolled you to Godspeed. And then he's like, I'm on a call. I'm going to call you a second. I said, no, bro, I'm good. I don't want to speak anymore. So this is what I'm telling Whack 100. Okay. And then guess who else is the reason why Whack 100 felt justified in disrespecting and saying those things about Karan Kane. He said that lady sent me voice recordings. Who do we know get people on voice recordings, take your content, clip it up, tag Whack 100 and will pretty much use you and your issue with somebody else to social climb. We all know that that's Lady T. So Lady T sent Whack 100 and Lady T was sending Whack 100 information about what Runny Doe was saying about him publicly and privately. And she would do that to any and everybody. She worked like the Mossad. So the whole reason Whack 100 went off on Karan Kane is because that Lady T, sent me voice recordings. I did nothing but agree with dude, never disrespected him. These recordings she sent me, that little nigga violated me. F him, he can die again. If you want to hear it, cool, but do not, please don't start feeling like you dictate me. Relax. You're a bisexual man, so you can't tell me how to hear disrespect from a gutter nigga. Get your content, nigga, with all that screaming. Oh yeah, this is when he like I went off on this nigga. This is why he started talking and all. You see how like he went from lowercase to all cap. You know, I put that nigga in his place over the phone, and then he started typing in all caps. Get your content with all that screaming. F Runny, the worm man. You don't dictate ish. Remember that fake outrage. I've heard you say verse, all this other stuff. And so, and then I said, I don't fuck with you, nigga. You lack empathy, and that means you are truly a truly diabolical person. A man child, grow the F up. And then he said he was gonna run some content on me or whatever. I said, do your worst. So this is the last. This is the last conversation. Like, he's talking about you crying about a stranger, boy, go to F sleep. Like, this is, and I blocked Whack. Like, this is the last conversation I've ever had with Whack 100. So again, to have some psycho to come out here and say that I told Whack 100 that this is a lie. I hate a motherfucker who would use you to social climb to the next person. They cannot be trusted and should always stay away from you. Regardless, ain't no beef or anything, but these are actual facts. You know, why did, Lady T send recordings of Runny to Whack 100? Because she was using him to social climb, and she, wanted everybody else in the proximity to him to hate him and to take her side. Like, this is diabolical behavior, and that stuff like that cannot be forgiven, because look at the consequences of what you did just because you was mad, just because you wished death on him, and you was playing and you did all of this other stuff. This is why Lady T is a very dangerous person, and I don't want anything to do with her. And these low vibrational people like Sean David Wade thought it was their idea to have her over there, when she would tell you weeks prior to me finally sending her over there, I already said that I dropped the bitch off in the hood and left her for dead. Like, but that's neither here nor there. I just feel like it's bottom feeder mentality, and bottom feeders should stay in their own box and not be talked about in bigger spaces, or when you're not a part of the content or the conversation. So again, to people coming up with these conspiracies that I have, what the fuck? What is this? Is this? Oh, my bad. I'm so sorry. I was looking at something else. So yeah, don't these people that stringing together, people can be useful because they've now tried to claim that I had something to do with Karan Kane's passing. I now was able to go back and look at receipts to disprove that I have any correlation with WAC 100 and to show everybody that I'm the only nigga that stood on 10 for Karan Kane. Like literally, had I been cordial with and played the game with WAC 100, I probably would have got invited to this place, that place, or whatever. I don't give a fuck about gatekeepers or whatever. I stood on principle. It has nothing to do with the internet. That was private communication between me and WAC 100 and how I personally feel. I didn't come out here and say, oh, WAC, that's fucking wrong, I don't fuck with you, and then be cool with him behind the scenes. I dropped that nigga like a bad habit. I don't fuck with niggas like that. What he did was disgusting and deplorable. So for somebody to say that I co-conspired against Karan Kane when I got this boy's family in my phone, when I'm probably the only person that can call them and talk to them, I'm the only person that can play his music without getting a copyright strike. Like, y'all really need to focus on common sense, okay? Just because a nigga got a computer, a laptop, and could pull up things and say whatever, we all can talk. Does not mean that they're the truth. And in due time, you're going to figure out. Dealing receipts is what I do. And I just showed you guys. I don't have no correlation with WAC. But I'm so glad that I was actually kind of able to revisit this because now that I'm thinking about it, I did in fact call Natera Clinic days before Chrisean came back to the internet, which was the day before Karan Kane was unalived. And then she posted that fake DNA test to pretty much erase the history of me calling the DNA test clinic. Because when I called the clinic, that went viral in the Chrisean Rock sector, which is about 20, 30,000 people. But now her posting it on the neighborhood talk, they don't know about whatever. They got a bigger platform. So Chrisean Rock is a master manipulator and a narcissist. And the only thing that she care about is convincing and having the majority people on her side and believe in her narrative. Even then, she don't even give a fuck. Like Blueface posted and pinned that Chrisean Jr. is not his child on X.com and left it there for I think like months with millions and millions of views and impressions and shares. Like, and she still feel like she can compete with that narrative. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow up with the detective and let the detective know that here's actual more evidence of motives involving Chrisean Rock and how she maneuvered, how I called the DNA testing clinic, and how she decided to come back to the internet days afterwards and was on the internet the same morning that Karan Kane was unalive and then posted the fake DNA test. Again, you can be convicted in a court of law based upon circumstantial evidence. And they can find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt based upon circumstantial evidence. And I just feel like this investigation is taking forever. Motives. Even D4D in California, David, the singer that unalived Celeste, prior to the preliminary hearing, the only thing that they had was motives about him making money and signing a record deal and supposed to go on tour and make all this money and need to get her out of the way. Now the preliminary hearing is here and more information is coming out. I definitely feel like the detectives in Anne Arundel County, they have enough information from online itself to make an arrest and to take her through there. As in, okay, this is a homicide. Okay? You're entitled to a jury trial. You're also entitled to a preliminary hearing. Arrest her and make her sit in jail and then show everything during a preliminary hearing. And the judge only needs a preponderance of evidence in order to move the case to jury trial. And then at jury trial, bring in witnesses and show. Let me look up Maryland law. Maryland law. Can you be found guilty based on motives? And understanding criminal cases had multiple motives to fabricate. Prior consistent statements are admissible, even if the witness had multiple motives to fabricate. Motives, homicide. One second, you guys. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. So motives in itself is not something a defendant is found guilty of, and the prosecution generally does not have to prove motive beyond a reasonable doubt. Maryland's criminal jury instruction on motive states that motive is not an element of the charged crime and need not be proven. So prosecutors could argue that, you know, somebody called the DNA test clinic and she came back to the internet, then he died, and basically she wanted Chrisean King unalive because a DNA test will reveal such and such. That could be offered as a motive theory, but proving that theory, even very convincingly, doesn't by itself establish unalivement. The state still needs evidence from which the jury can find the required elements of the charged homicide beyond a reasonable doubt. This becomes especially important in a circumstantial evidence case. Motives can be one piece of the puzzle alongside things like communications, opportunity, conduct before after the death, forensic evidence, witness statements, location evidence, etc. But she had a motive because she wanted him unalive to a baby. It's not enough. So this is why there has not been any arrest in the case of Chrisean King. Now, Quell came to the internet and he says a lot of conflicting and contradicting things, but let's say hypothetically speaking, he was telling the truth that he's one of 6 people in a group chat that received pictures of Chrisean King's deceased body and sent it to WAC 100. He said that Chrisean also was in that group chat. Why have the detectives not subpoenaed phone records and phone communication? That'd be the first thing that I do. And that right there is enough evidence to prove things, coupled with motives and opportunity to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. So again, just with Quell saying that and stuff, I do feel like the detectives could and should actually go after her and arrest her. Oh shit, Kiki, I just realized, looks good on you. What's up, Nikki? What's up? What's up, Latanya Clark? Look for circumstances, cause of arrest. Circumstance, cause of arrest. But that's what I'm saying. I just clearly stated out to you how circumstances can be proven based on text messages, based on communication. Like, I definitely feel like Chrisean came back to the internet and got on Bigo as her alibi, as her way of distracting people. Oh, Chrisean is back on the internet. How can you say this? She's finally... Chrisean is a master manipulator. Okay? She's definitely a master manipulator. Oh yeah, I'm going to be making more moderators. We just got to make sure things are in order, and then you have different people that gets attention because of me, and then they run and go and collaborate with people who have harassed me. Like, a lot of people who talk crap about Denied are mad because I look good. They're mad because they're not intelligent. They're mad because you cannot talk about Chrisean Rock and avoid me and with this DNA test and running and stuff like that. And I did that genuinely. I didn't do that to clout chase, but I have boots on the ground content. So if I don't want to talk about Chrisean Rock for 6 months and come back, they gonna fuck with me. If I only got 500, 200 views on a video, if I want to click some views, I'll just consistently talk about Chrisean Rock. Consistently. Okay? I want real information to be delivered to the real people. And Chrisean is not the only thing that's trending every single day on the internet. Now, I know you guys want to tap in the algorithm and all that. Again, I'm gonna let these people hang themselves. But shout out to y'all. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I actually have to go to a party soon. I didn't even really get to finish my docket from yesterday. I just skipped over some things because I was kind of tired. Like, I'm tired now. I think I'm gonna take a nap if I go to this party because I was out partying. She had Motive's money. Again, Motive's, like California, for instance, is a state that will take Motives. She unalived him because of a DNA test. She would have been in jail. California law supports Motives, and I use David, the singer that unalived Celeste Hernandez Riveras. I use him as a clear example of how California arrested him, took him to a preliminary hearing, and now he's going to trial. And the arrest and the statement of probable cause was based upon motives only. And then they discovered, right? Maryland does not have the same law. Motives alone. They actually give jury instructions telling the jury to leave motives out of it. Meaning that she wanted to unalive him because he was on the internet hooping and hollering about a DNA test. That's her motive. They can't consider that in Maryland. Not during a jury trial. And if you can't even consider it during a jury trial, to arrest her right now, knowing that inevitably, even if you send her to jury trial, that they're not going to be able to consider motives, like she unalived him because of money, she unalived him because of a DNA test. They can't use that. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. Yeah. I heard years ago, I'm in California, all my kids knew it wasn't Blue Baby, and they wanted to go along with the storyline. Yeah, of course. Anyways, love you guys. I gotta get up out of here. I gotta take a nap before I gotta get out of here. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised.
What is in your life's blueprint?